Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Georgia versus Auburn college football matchup on Saturday, October 8th, 2022. Of course, it's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. It's College Football Saturday. And here on YouTube, I do tons of free pick videos, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. We do free picks every day, sportschatplace.com, pickdawgz.com, right here on YouTube, as well as across social media and our live shows. And when you give out that many free picks, you're bound to like some games more than others. And to find out which games those are, as well as to get best bets from some of the top handicappers in the world today, head on over to our website, pickdawgz.com, click on the Premium Picks tab. And while you're there, be sure to use the discount code 15 off. You'll get 15% off all of your purchases at sportschatplace.com and pickdawgz.com. But let's get to this one. Georgia taking on Auburn between the hedges in Athens. Of course, it's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. It's College Football Saturday, and it's games like this, which is why it's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. And the Bulldogs come into this one a perfect 5-0 on the season. Auburn 3-2 on the season. I would say Brian Harsin probably going to be on a little bit of a short leash as the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. And so far, not so good for him. I don't think 3-2 is what they're looking for from their head coach on the Plains. You know, Georgia dropped to number 2 in the rankings after struggling against Missouri last week. And no, they didn't play their best game, but the thing is, in the SEC, you're going to have tough games. It's called playing in the SEC, and really, in every conference, you're going to have games like that. You look at the great teams of all time. They've had their share of struggles, but how they're jumped by Alabama, I personally don't see it. We saw Alabama struggle at Texas, getting a 1-point win that who even knows if they won that game. Sure looked like a safety to me. But the thing is that, regardless, Alabama did get that win. They passed Georgia in the rankings, which is kind of meaningless. But at the same time, last time they played, Georgia stomped Alabama in the national championship game. Like I said, the rankings don't make a lot of sense. They never do. But, you live with it, and hopefully it all plays itself out. And in the SEC, Georgia, if they win out and Alabama wins out, they will play each other, right? And the thing is, Georgia, 5th best offense in the nation, 8th best passing the football. And then when it comes to that Georgia defense, number 4 in the nation in points allowed, allowing just over 10 points per game. In fact, last week against Missouri was really the first time that we saw any team put any points on them. When we look at this Auburn defense, they've been really tough, against the pass and overall in total yards and even in scoring. But the problem is that teams have been able to run the ball on them because Auburn has been playing from behind a lot this season. It just seems that once they start to fall behind, it just kind of steamrolls on top of them. We saw it last week, and we also saw it in the Penn State game. Last week against LSU, they battled back and forth. They covered the number, but at the same time, they never looked like they really had a chance to win the game. And I think that is really what you're trying to do when all is said and done. It's just that Auburn offense, just not very good. 80th in the nation in yards and 107th in the nation when it comes to scoring. And like I said, you got to score points. I mean, that is the goal of the game. LSU 6-1 against the number in their last 7 in October, but just 1-5 against the number in their last 6 games overall, and 1-5 against the number. It's Auburn. I'm sorry, I said LSU. I was talking about the LSU game. But it's Auburn that's 1-5 against the number in their last 6 games overall. 1-5 against the number when playing against teams with a winning record. Meanwhile, for Georgia, 1-5 against the number in their last 6 games at home in Athens, which is a little bit surprising. But Georgia bouncing back from those rough games, we've seen them do it so many times. The favorites covered the last 5 times these teams have met. Auburn has not covered the last 5. Georgia was favored. In fact, Auburn 0-7 against the number the last 7 trips between the hedges. I'm going to take Georgia in a dominating performance here to cover the spread, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks today, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. Our betting tools are 100% free in the way they work. They show you just how often all the bets on the board today actually hit. Then they show you today's odds, and from there, you can assess the risk-reward, putting yourself on the bets that come in the most and pay the most. And that's how you make money betting on sports.